I grew up worshipping animals in temples, but then I realized that we were not really worshipping them, not even respecting them. My name is Sanjeev, and today I'm an animal rescuer. The temples in India have cows, they have their babies, and sometimes even horses, camels, or elephants. We would buy flowers, we would buy food from their caretakers, and we would feed them, we would put garlands around their necks, and we would say prayers because these animals, we associate them with different gods in Hindu mythology. Sometimes we would see them hurt, we would see them bleeding where they were tethered, but there was always some explanation, some expression of sympathy, but there was never a real solution. As a teenager, I started questioning my religious rituals. The rules felt so arbitrary. When I moved to the US for work, I started seeing the differences in the way the animals were treated. I noticed the systemic abuse, the lack of respect. I thought, oh, we don't do this back home. But slowly I started realizing that the same abuse happens back home in plain sight, but we just see the parts that make us feel good. I was on my way to citizenship, and I was being the most upright, law-abiding citizen that I could be. I don't think I ever even broke the speed limit. And then I saw this video on Facebook. I saw these bunch of people, they walk into this restaurant and speak up against animal abuse. The video shocked me at first. I had never seen something like that. I noticed an Indian in the bunch, and that was even more shocking. I had never seen an Indian who was so uncivil, I would say. It took me a little while to see them as real people, and then I noticed that they were based in Oakland, just 20 minutes drive away from my house. I was curious, so I went to a meetup. So when I got there, I saw this bunch of people. They were gathered at the side of the building, dressed all in formal black, and in the middle there was a coffin. Turned out they were doing an action symbolizing the funeral for animals. At the end of the briefing, somebody asked, who has a car? And I raised my hand. I said, I have a car, I can help. Suddenly I was drawing a whole bunch of strangers to my very first protest. At the action in the store, the activists, they spoke out boldly. I noticed the workers, they were very aggressive. They tried to push away the activists using shopping carts. And I was so impressed. I saw these activists, they were holding firm, they were standing the ground. They were being peaceful. They had no aggression on their face, but they were determined. As strange as this action was, the whole thing, it seemed like a ritual to me. I remember as a teenager, I had started questioning my religious rituals. This action, it seemed like the very first ritual that really made sense. It had a purpose. I kept coming back to the meetups and protests, and they kept getting bigger. At some point, somebody asked me if I wanted to be part of a rescue, which meant risking arrest. At that point, it had taken me 5 years to get a green card. It would be a few more years before I could get my citizenship. Any legal infraction could put my whole career in jeopardy. I could be deported. But I finally had the chance to do something right by the animals that I had been brought up to worship and respect. That's why I walked inside this slaughterhouse in Oakland, which was full of sick, suffering, and dead animals. I helped save a lamb named Eddie, and then a blind hen named Sophie, and then more and more animals. I put my freedom and body on the line. It's a part of my culture to respect and worship animals, but today I do that by rescuing them from slaughter. I carry animals away from the people who want to kill them, because whichever religion you practice, compassion is always at the root.